Voldelige overfald, drab og nedbrænding af kirker. De kristne i Indien har det svært. En indisk dokumentarjournalist tog ud til Kandhamal-provinsen i den østlige del af landet, og han har sendt os denne her historie.
The killing of Swami Lakshmanananda Saraswati by few miscreants on 23rd August night became the reason for few fundamentalist organizations to call a band that resulted in a rampage of violence. In Kandhamal, the procession carrying the body of Swami Lakshmanananda to Chakkapada for cremation was being followed by violence. The perpetrators of violence were justifying their actions, alleging that Christians were involved in the killing of the Swami. Houses of poor persons of the Christian community were attacked, ransacked, destroyed, and torched in broad daylight. Prayer halls and churches became the target and had to face the wrath of vandalism displayed by the miscreants. Churches were stoned, amenities thrown out, and set afire. Lots of pressure from different quarters inside and outside forced the state government to deploy state-armed police and central paramilitary forces in various sensitive points of the district. But the elements of violence crept into the rural vicinity, and the terrifying act of torching houses and villages where members of the Christian community lived went on. The dance of violence in rural Kandhamal forced people to leave their houses, flee into the forest just to save their lives. The pain of living in the forest with kids and young girls without food was tolerable to these people than the aggression of the other community. Without people, the villages remained empty, giving the aggressors another opportunity to loot and torch. Losing everything, their houses, belongings, and the loved ones, most of the affected families went to the relief centers. The number of affected people in different relief camps amounted over 24,000, who are into tears thinking the incidents that happened with them.
Tidligere på dagen havde jeg besøg af Ravinder Kaur. Hun er adjunkt på RUC, og så er hun Indien-ekspert. Og jeg spurgte hende om, der er noget i vejen med at være kristen i Indien.
Well, not according to the Indian constitution, because according to the constitution, you're free to choose whatever religion you want to have, and you can change whenever you want to do. But the fact that we are seeing these violent clashes has more to do with the new political movement in India in the past 20 years, where if you convert, then you see a traitor not only to Hinduism, but to India itself. That is because both Muslims and Christians are still seen as foreign religions to India, whereas Hinduism is the indigenous religion.
We're seeing that people converting to Christianity are mostly poor people from tribal areas. Are they doing it to kind of escape from the caste system?
Well, there is some truth to this, because you see, it is very difficult to convert people from the upper classes, from the upper social order, whereas tribals and lower castes are more amenable to conversion, because Indian state as well as the Indian society has sort of not been doing justice to them. you know, like in the tribal regions that you're seeing the conflict, it is very difficult to find hospitals, it is very difficult to find schools, and the day wage labor is so low that it is very difficult for people to make ends meet. Which means that when Christian missionaries or anybody else who comes in that region, it is very easy for them to appeal to these groups also. So, of course, it is true that it is tribals and the lower castes which are more open to these conversions. And the caste system has not only to do with socioeconomic status, as we know, it is also to do with the kind of respect that you get in the society. And by moving to religions like both Islam and Christianity, you know, they are supposed to have this egalitarian idea where you do not have this, you know, caste hierarchy. So this is more appealing to these sections of the society.
Well, so Christian missionaries, for instance, are bringing medical care, schools to the area and converting them. I mean, can you understand why some people would be angered by this?
Yes, I mean, there are two sort of opinions, you know, growing within the Indian society at the moment, that some people do not believe that you should match giving support like health and education with one's religion. That you should be able to help people irrespective of the religion that they come from. That they should not become Christians just because, you know, they should have health or educational facilities. On the other hand, it also means that we are undercutting the very idea of a, you know, like a diverse India, where it is possible to choose whichever religion that you want to do. You know, and currently there is a growing demand that we should legally stop conversions, you know.
But we're hearing that. I mean, Christians have been very peaceful. Mm-hmm. But now we're hearing that they're kind of mobilizing militias as well. I mean, wouldn't that be a huge problem?
Well, I think, first of all, I wouldn't be surprised if people are taking to arms. Because first and foremost, it is important for us to protect ourselves. And if police is not protecting, if the state is not protecting, then you have to make some sort of solution to that. But on the other hand, how far it is going to be successful, I'm very doubtful about that. Because Christians, I mean, to make a militia, you need to have technological support, which I don't think so, that we have any signs of that.
But why isn't the Indian police protecting these people?
That has more to do with the fact that police is very corrupt in India, you know. And if the state government has decided that, you know, we are not going to stop this violence, then there is nothing to do about it. And it is not only this case that we're talking about. The various cases of violence which have been happening in India for the past 60 years, police has always had a very, very bad role in that. You know, so therefore we shouldn't be surprised that police is not protecting these people.
But how, can you link that to the government's role in this as well?
Yes, you see, at the moment we have Congress government, you know, at the center, but the state governments, you know, some of them come from the Hindu nationalist movement, and for them it is perfectly okay to stop conversions, you know, and because this is part of their political agenda.
But India is really trying to bring Western investment. Isn't this a huge problem, I mean, for India's image?
Yes, I think these days the fact that you see this news coming up in such a big way is that India is very bothered about its image, you know, and it is directly linked with this rising, shining, you know, superpower India. It somehow undercuts that image, which is why you see politicians from all, you know, all ends trying to say, no, we have to stop this. Of course, there is an internal context to that, but it is also attached with how India would like to be perceived outside, you know, because the moment we start having, you know, violence, you know, things like that, they seem very barbaric, something which belongs to medieval age. It doesn't match with the modern image of India that it is trying to grow.
Well, India has had this official slogan of unity in diversity. Is that threatened now? Is India's unity threatened?
Well, India's unity has always been very fragile to begin with. India is a multi-religious, multi-ethnic, multilingual country, and to begin with, from 60 years, it has been one of these fundamental projects to somehow create a common thing where all different groups can live side by side, which is why the slogan unity in diversity. I mean, you don't need the slogan, you know, I mean, the very fact that you have the slogan means that you need to unite people. And this is an ongoing project, which is why you hear our national leaders saying, no, we need to stop this because it is harming your internal fabric, at the same time giving a very bad image outside.
Thank you very much for joining us.